Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our live webinar of eIMMIGRATION. My name is Vanessa Vargas. On behalf of Cerenade, I want to thank you for joining us today. Today, we're learning about the administrative portal, what it is, what is the admin and what is it for? How can you maximize the investment by customizing eIMMIGRATION? It's by using your administrative portal. So today, we're going to show you how to take care of those customizations. If you are new, this is the first time that you join us, thank you so much for attending these live webinars. We are here to answer your questions. So we do have a chat where you can send me your messages and questions. We are also recording this session and we upload it to our YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed yet, we recommend that you go into YouTube, search Cerenade Academy and hit the subscribe button. Okay. And again, you can ask me questions. We're going to have a Q&A as well. And also, we have this PowerPoint presentation that you can download. If you click on the Go to Webinar menu where it says Handouts, you can download it. Hi, happy Friday. So I do read your messages. If you want to ask me questions, I'm here to help you as much as I can. All right, so let's start. What is the admin? And if you're new, you should have received an email that says your site is ready and you're going to attend a private training. But if this is the first webinar that you attend, or maybe you're watching the video on our YouTube channel, we recommend that you do take your private admin portal training just so that you can, again, customize the system based on your needs. Okay, today we're going to learn how to customize the users or processes, templates. So there are many areas of the system that you can modify, and it's going to make a huge difference, trust me, especially long-term benefit where you can find things easier and just organize yourself. And I think the more you customize the system, the better, because by organizing your practice, you can grow, right? It's a lot easier to manage team of paralegals if you know where to find things. And so it starts with the administrative portal. I'm going to switch my screen. Like I said, please download my PowerPoint presentation because it has those useful links. And today we have a lot of information, so I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with too much data to digest. So that's why I'm recording the session and you can watch the video later. And also, if you're watching this video and you need the PowerPoint, contact Cerenade and they can provide you with the file. Okay. All right. So what is the admin and how do I access it? Like I said, the administrative portal is just for customizations. Okay. And you can access that by clicking on the top right corner where it says Settings, Administrative Tools. I always recommend to right click, open in a new tab. I like to keep the administrative portal open just in case I need to customize something. I'll do it, come back, refresh, and continue working as normal. So it's hard to do it all at once because you don't know what you don't know until you get there and you realize like, oh, well, I don't have this type of reminder, or I don't have this type of note. And so that's why I like to have the admin window open and available. So the first thing I want to show you is what is your department? Basically, it's just the location. Even within the same geographic location, you can have different departments. So you want to split cases or clients by department, go ahead and add the department right here. Also, keep in mind this information, if you select the department, it's the information that's going to transfer to the forms. Just to give you an idea, let me quickly switch. By the way, I'm going to be doing this a lot, back and forth, because I not only want to show you how to customize the system, but why. What's the actual application? And where do I, just to connect the dots. So when you create a case, you'll notice that it says department. So this is what I'm talking about, where you can select this case belongs to this location, and then run reports. How many cases do we have for our office in Las Vegas? Or you could also customize the departments because you can separate clients by, again, location. So it's only one department per profile. Okay, so let's go back to the administrative portal. Then the users. Users, of course, as the name says, this is the person who's going to be using the system, but not necessarily. I could, for example, create a caseworker profile for the attorney. He's not going to technically be using the system. We just want his information to transfer to the forms. So we enter all the data, like the jurisdiction details, his state bar number, all the details, but I'm not going to create an account because he's not going to use it. It's just for his data to transfer to the form. So technically you can have as many profiles as needed. Maybe I have a receptionist who is going to use it, but I don't want the receptionist to be accessing other departments, only the office in Florida and California, that's it. So as you can see, based on the settings per caseworker, you can limit the access. And of course, you can automate things such as, hey, I don't want the receptionist to be assigned to clients, but I do want her to maybe receive an email when a client uploads documents, just for example, but you can customize some of these access rights. And when you create an account, it means that you do have a license for this. If you don't, it won't let you create the account. You're going to get an error message. In that case, just call us and contact your sales rep. Anyone here in Cerenade can assist you with that. You can just say, hey, I need a new license. Um, we'll just charge you enable and let you know you can go ahead and proceed to create the account. This is where you select the paralegals or new caseworkers, login name, password. And also as an administrator, you can customize your access rights, such as, hey, what days can they log in? What times can they log in? So even if they have the username and password, they can't access the system after hours or outside this, um, you know, access that you're giving them. Of course, the access rights include, do I want them to access billing or not? So I can block or allow certain features and allow them to delete or not, depending on what you check per caseworker. That's what they're gonna access. And this is very important because you, for example, call us and say, hey, I need a new license. And we enable it, but you are responsible to create the account and make sure that the access rights are enabled. Because if you forget, and let's say for e-filing, you forgot to click all, then your new paralegal is not able to e-file a form. Or you can just say only assigned cases. If the paralegal is assigned to the case, and she can file that form. All right, so I hope that makes sense. If not, or if you have questions, please let me know. Speaking of questions, I like to sometimes, I'm gonna have I'm gonna launch a poll. So if you can please click on your screen, this also allows me to see who's paying paying attention. Just kidding. But do you have access to the administrator portal? Let me know. All right, so we have a poll in progress. If you can please look at your screen, click and vote. I know we're multitasking, it's Friday. All right, so I just want to make sure how many of you, now let me close this. Thank you so much for those who participated. The majority of you, yes, and that's why, of course, you're here. But for those that don't have access, it's good that you are learning so that you can, the thing is, it happens very often when the signatory, the decision maker, got the system, but he's not really using it. And now you're the one who's using the system and you have no access to customize it. So you're struggling because there are things that you don't need or things that you need and you don't have. And so I'm glad that you're here. And then also, for those who don't know, do I have access or not? It's right here. If you do see admin tools, it means that you have it. Also, you could check out your subscription details. And if you scroll down, you're going to see those access rights that I was talking about. Of course, it's going to say blocked if you don't have access to the admin portal. And this is where each of your paralegals or caseworkers can see if they are allowed or if they are blocked from some of these features. Okay. All right. So let's continue. The third icon, in my opinion, is one of the most important aspects of customizations here in the admin portal. And the reason why is because all of you have different services, right? We do have like clients that are nonprofits and they don't handle employment-based cases, and we do have corporations, for example, that are not necessarily attorneys and they just use the system for employment-based cases, and so it varies. And the reason why I'm recommending you to customize it is because, let me quickly show you, when you are creating a case, on the other window when you're creating a case. This is the drop-down menu that I'm referring to. So imagine if on a daily basis you have to search for what you need, it's a waste of time. So we recommend that you customize this list and put the most commonly used processes on the top 10, top 20, and then delete the ones that you don't need or add the ones that you need, even if it's not related to immigration. Like I said, we do have, for example, nonprofit organizations that use it for ESL classes, food stamps. We do have clients that are not necessarily immigration attorneys, but they use it to prepare forms, but they also do translations or they do notary services. So again, the system is so flexible. Take advantage of that, okay? And so let's go back to learn how do I customize those processes. First of all, search. On the right-hand side, I'm going to search for TPS. That's what we do. So I see here that we have the TPS, but it's not higher in the position. So I'm just going to select, move to, and then move it to number 1 if I want the TPS on position number 1. And again, moving forward, when I'm ready to create a case, the TPS is going to be right there. Let's say we don't do, just gonna find one, we don't do EB5. So instead of showing this EB5 here, I'm just going to disable it. What if I need it in the future? So then in that case, I'll just enable it again. So just disable, click save. Also, don't forget to select the area of practice, and then it's going to show just like this. Okay, let me know if you have any questions at this point, okay? I do recommend, of course, if you see something that you know for a fact you're not going to need, you can just click select, delete, and it's going to ask you, are you sure? So then click OK. What else? Yes, you can drag and drop, but sometimes it might be easier for you to just move to and then pick the new position. For example, I do adjustment of status. So I'm going to say move to number 2, and then now I have my TPS, my adjustment of status. Again, I can just drag and drop, but it might be easier to do the select move to. The other one that I like to clarify, or just because I remember, a lot of people do this. They enter the name of the process, let's say consultation, and they click save. When you do that, it's going to send that process all the way at the bottom of your list. And if you have, like me, more than 500. So you don't want to do that. So the best approach is to just insert. So you can say, you know what, I want a consultation right here. Let me insert, and I'll just type consultation. I'm just going to call it 1, 2, 3 because I'm pretty sure we have one already. And that allows me to insert a new process right here in the desired position. Okay, let me delete. This is what I was saying. Are you sure? Click OK. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to continue because I have to cover a lot of stuff. Also, remember, the reason why we're here is because we want you to at least get a general idea. I don't expect you to memorize or do it at the same time as I am doing it. That's overwhelming. Don't even try. Just sit and relax. Try to absorb as much as you can. Remember, I'm recording the session. You can always watch the video later. You can always contact us for support. And of course, we have private trainings where we go at your own pace. So this is just for you to try to learn as much as you can and ask me questions. That's my advice. I'm here to assist you as much as I can. Okay, so let's continue with the processes. If you notice, we have all those circles on the right, the columns. So think of it like a package where you have the forms, checklist, the steps, everything, documents, which means that if you create a case and you say, I'm doing an adjustment of status or I'm doing an asylum, what items or elements are related to this TPS, which questionnaires, which, letter templates. So you want to click on the circles and then see the checklist. If you see a form that you don't need, you can remove. If you want to kind of like rearrange it, you can also drag and drop, or you can use these move up or down arrows. So that's the forms. Also, if you want to add a form, you can just type the number. So I can just type the number and then click find and add. Or you can delete a form that you don't need. Okay, so those are the forms checklist. On the right hand side, we have the steps. think of the timeline of the case. Let me actually go to a different process that might make, well, let me see if this one makes more sense. Probably. Okay, so steps are your tasks. Okay, this is actually one of my favorite features. I believe in organizing your law firm, even if you're a solo practitioner, trust me, but especially if you have a team. Okay, if you organize yourself, yes, of course, you know what you're doing, but as you grow, it might be harder to keep up with so much information. I mean, too many deadlines. And so these tasks not only tell you like a timeline or workflow, but also remind you if there's anything that it's pending, or if you have a team of paralegals, this is also a better way for you to supervise them and see what's been done, what's pending. If a paralegal quits, then you know what's next. You know what to take over, right? And so I highly, highly recommend that you explore based on the process, see the steps, and see what works for you. You can edit. Maybe you want to call it a different, or you can also customize it and put it in Spanish. Crear plan de pagos. And that way, if I have a paralegal who prefers Spanish, they know what they need to do. So this is kind of like a way for me to train them, because I'm telling them, you need to do this. This is, you have a day to do it, or maybe the same day. Like, I don't know, you can just customize how many days to complete the task. And do I want you to get an email notification in case you forget to create a payment plan? So yes, so I'm going to click save. And now, again, moving forward, when I create an adjustment of status, I know exactly what's my timeline, what days for the time frame, what's the actual task. And also another great feature that you all have, it's called activities. If you like to take notes, just write down the word activities. Although, let me just remind you that I do have these tags that you can click on, and of course, I don't have it. So you better write down activities if you want to remember it, because for some reason I didn't include it in my PowerPoint. It's just too much information, but I do want to bring it up because it automates things. And who doesn't want to do that right nowadays? Let's say I need to send a questionnaire, and when it's time for me to send the questionnaire, let me add an activity so the system can perform the action on my behalf. So the activity is just like an AI type of feature where you can program an action such as adding a note, adding an expense, sending an email, a questionnaire, or a text message, and you can determine when you want the action to be triggered. It could be when when the step starts, when the step is completed, a few days before or after. So you have just, select when do you want let's say when when the step starts, I want the system to send me an email or send me a text message or etc. So you can customize it. I have actually two activities. You can have more than one per step. So the step is send the questionnaire, and the action or activity says when the step starts, send the questionnaire. And 2 days after the target date, after the deadline, send me a text message to remind me of, sending the questionnaire, although technically the questionnaire has been submitted already or sent to the client. So again, if you're taking notes, just write down the word activities. You can always watch the tutorial video that we have. Next is the documents checklist. How many of you still send an email to your clients asking, I need your passport, I need your certificate? Well, if you think about it, your clients have to download the checklist, upload into an email, attach it. Sometimes they can't because it's too large. So please do them and do yourself a favor. Use the checklist and use our storage. Why? Because it's a win-win. You can just create this checklist one time, select the specific, documents that you need to request, and have them upload from their client portal. I also like to translate those so that when I send the, request, they know what I'm talking about. And all you need to do, just to give you a quick idea, when I have a case established and I go to my documents checklist, I already have it by default. So it's really easy for me to just select and share. And for her, it's also easier because she has to just log in, do it maybe with her cell phone or a tablet or any device that has internet connection, and then upload this specific requirement, and then it will show up here. They don't have to attach to an email. I don't have to download and upload. So it's, again, a win-win. And also, it's easier for you to see which clients have not uploaded which documents, because they will be missing an attachment. Another recommendation I want to give you, since we're talking about documents, is if you go into your admin and click on application settings at the bottom, no, just kidding, not at the bottom, on the right hand side, it's right here, auto convert uploaded images to PDF. So I love this feature because even if I upload a JPEG, it turns that into a PDF automatically. So actually, let me do that. I'm going to pretend I'm the client and I'm going to log in. Just give me one quick second. Okay. So I'm the client and I get an email from my attorney saying I need to upload evidence. So here I am. So I'm just going to upload and drag and drop the files that I need to upload. So let's say I have these 3 items. I'm going to drag and drop, and I'm going to select what this is. What it looks like, this is my, I think this is well, let me just pick, it says English translation of birth certificate. Let's do that. And this one, it is a passport. So I'm going to select passport. And this is a logo. I'm just going to pick this is a test document. Anyway, so you get the idea. Your client can see that the requirement here, and they can see the case, this belongs to case 341, or like, what document what case you're uploading it to. And then they just hit upload. All right, so on your end, you get an email from us saying, you've got a new upload. I think it was case 49. Let me just double check. Okay, so on your end, when you go to your documents, they're going to be, yes, they're here. They're going to be linked. You can see the upload date. Again, it's all about organizing yourself and automating as much as you can. So again, if you want to run a report, show me how many documents we haven't received, or which ones have been uploaded when, and who, So see how now it says PDF. It's a lot easier because I can just select preview and I can see the file. I don't have to download and open it. I can see the quality right away. And if it's blurry, I can just delete and report that I need this again in a better quality. So I highly recommend that you guys, again, I recommend that you utilize the documents checklist with eIMMIGRATION instead of asking them to upload into a different solution. And I get it, sometimes clients can just send you a WhatsApp or an email, a text message with the passport picture. I get it, but this might be a lot easier for both client and attorney. All right, so next we talked about customizing the documents checklist. Next is the questionnaires. Today I'm going to show you briefly how to customize your own questionnaires. And this is where you can customize the actual checklist. So for an adjustment of status, I would like, this particular process, intake form, and I want, the background questionnaire, etc. I'll just select the questions that I want and click add questionnaires. And that's it. So when, again, you create a case for this matter or type of process, adjustment of status, I know exactly which questionnaires are needed. Okay. Next, letter templates. Another one of my favorites. Letter templates, you have to first create them. Okay. I assume you have them already in Word or PDFs or, Outlook. Just go to your letter templates here in the admin and add, pretty much copy paste them. And again, if you're taking notes, write down letter templates and tag helper. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In the in the caseworker, in the caseworker portal, if you click on tools, you're gonna see tag helper. So write down those words, because you can later search for tag helper and learn how to use it. It's basically a tool that makes it a lot easier for you to say, I'm looking for the individual client tag for social security number. So I can just copy and paste it into my document. So for example, this letter template, I copy pasted. It's, easier for me to just add the tags and the system will auto populate the name, where it belongs, the date, cell phone. Okay. So that's the letter template. And if, of course, the letter template is related to an adjustment of status, like a welcome letter explaining what to expect, or then, of course, you want to just go back to processes and link or add the related document, cover letter, or it's really, really cool because you can just create it one time, add the necessary tags, and the system can help you auto populate. For those who are um, subscribe to billing. This is where you can add the process items, the billing items. How much do I charge for an adjustment of status? And that way my staff knows exactly how much to include in an invoice. And of course, you need to create those billing items first, right here, including your categories or types. For example, not just legal fees or professional fees, legal fees or professional fees, but also like consultation, translation, FedEx, or any other category. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions at this point. How many of you have actually played around with the admin portal and try to customize the processes? Let me know. Okay, thank you for those who voted. It looks like the majority of you didn't know, but now you know how to customize the processes and all these elements. Make sure you do that because I feel like it's going to save you so much time in the long term. That way you don't see what you don't need to see. And it's a lot easier for you to just click and go. Okay, next, custom fields. Before I show you how to create custom fields, let me give you a couple of examples of what they are and why you need them. Okay. If you go into the system and you open any of your clients' account or profiles, you'll see that we have these are called system fields. Of course, the system has them by default, where you enter the client's first name. This is a field. But what if I want to ask an additional question? Where do I keep the data? I always use analogies and I love to because it's easier for me to understand or learn. So just imagine a bucket, a container, where do you dump all the data? That's pretty much it. We call it custom fields. If you want to categorize, or also if you want to think of it like a container, your clothes go in different drawers. So pretty much that's what I mean. So if you want to separate your custom fields by different categories, so this would be, for example, the category, what's the permanent resident card info? And this is the actual custom field. I'm asking what's the date when they became a lawful permanent resident? Well, again, it's not just for me to ask the question, but where do I save or store the data? That's the reason why you want to have a custom field. And you can have more than one custom field per category. And you can have a different view. So, for example, my divorce view would be, the reason why, what type of divorce you're seeking, or like, for example, marketing information. I want to ask my prospects, hey, how did you hear about this organization? And also use the system as a CRM, run reports and know, hey, how many clients do actually heard about us through the radio spot? Or maybe another question would be, what's the best way to contact you? Are you tech savvy? Things like that. Are you new? This is the first time that you contact us. So again, you can use the system to provide a better customer service and also to identify your prospects or leads. And you can use it for anything you can think of. Like we have clients, like I said, that use it for more than just immigration. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to create these custom fields, it's not just for you to capture the data and, of course, run reports and analyze the information, but it could also be mapped or connected to an actual immigration form. To give you a better idea, let me show you another example. If you notice what I did, I went to the general info page of the profile. And at the bottom, we have a section for kind of like a quick access for custom fields. Instead of me going to the custom fields on the right hand side, I just scroll down under the general info page and I can see the most important custom fields that I need to see. Okay, so one example I want to give you is this one. What's your full name in native alphabet? Turns out the DS-160 or the DS-260 asked that question, and we don't really have it for, I mean, it's not a typical question, but you can create your own custom field and connect it to the form. So when you open the form, it populates the data, just like it populates any other data from the system fields. So now let's learn how to do this. If we go into the admin and click on client custom fields, the reason why I say client and not case custom fields is because if you create an intake form or a questionnaire, if you want to customize it and ask those questions like what's your full name in native alphabet, when did you hear about us, you can't map or include case custom fields in a questionnaire. So that's why I'm recommending that you use client custom fields. All right, so here's the one that I was telling you about. Like you just click add, select if this is for an individual type of client or both, maybe business too. Enter the name of the field, which is more technical. It can't contain spaces or symbols, so you just do like underscore, for example, to separate the words, or all together like this one. When was your last arrival date? And then, of course, the title could be normal. When did you arrive into the US legally? Or so you can just type the question normally. And then, of course, what is it that you're asking? Are you asking for text, numbers, a date, Boolean? Boolean is like the little square. And then a drop-down menu or a bigger text area, like an explanation or something that requires more space versus just like an email or so that's that. You just create your custom fields. And if you want to show them under the general info page, just go to System Client, Custom Fields, and select General Info. So this is where you can say, well, on the general info page, I want to show these, but maybe I don't want this one. Or maybe I don't want, like you can just customize it. Okay. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Also, don't forget to organize them, group them. You don't want them to be all together. You want to have like specific categories, like this is for my customer service, this is for permanent resident, TPS, like, so you just select the different categories. And it's easier for you to just add, for example, my permanent resident card has 2 fields. And if I need to add another custom field that's related to the green card, which we might have another one. Let me see. Like these two, what's the green card for e-payment and the green card number? So I can just add to the list and save. And if I refresh over here and go to my custom fields, let's close that. Under the immigration, it looks like I already had the green card number. Anyway, so that's how you can group them under the category. And of course, you can group categories within a view. Okay, let me know if you have any questions at this point. Now, the next question is, how do I map that question to the actual government form? So if you're taking notes, write the words. Although, again, if you want to download my PowerPoint presentation, it's a lot easier, but it's right here. Form custom data population. So you want to click there and find the form that you want to customize. Also keep in mind, if the USCIS releases a new version, you have to do it again. So in this case, it happened. I had my old version of the N400. Now I'm just going to add the field to the new form. This is the N400. I'm just going to find an example so I can show you. It might be this one. Page 2, number 7, if you're a lawful permanent, provide the day you became a resident. As you saw, I do have that question when it's on my, actually, you know what? Let me give you a tip. If you copy the question just like I'm doing now, and you want to see how's the custom field drafted or what's the actual title or name. So I'm going to open another admin and go to my custom fields and search. right here on the right hand side on the top. I'm just pasting it, or not. Yeah. Okay, so see the name, it's PR_date. There was no way I was going to remember that. So now I know. If I go back and click and then remember what I'm doing, let me just pause because it might be too overwhelming. What I'm trying to show you is, and let me close this so I can show you what I did. In the administrator portal, you can go to form custom data population so that you can connect your custom field, which is this one. When did you become a legal permanent resident? And I'm connecting my custom field so that this information that I have asked in a questionnaire now transfers to the actual N400. So I need to go again into form custom data population, and then I'm going to add the form that I want, which is the N400, the new version, and I'm going to open the form. Notice there's no save button. So all you need to do is go to the page that you want, locate the question that you want to customize, and click on this icon. And I'm going to select my client custom field that we said it's PR_date. And it belongs to the alien. And I just click OK. And now close. That's it. There's no, save button. That's it. So let me show you what happens when you open the form. I'm going to select the new version of the form. Now remember, Valeria, my client, responded, she completed an intake form, a questionnaire, and she answered that she became a legal resident or became a law firm permanent resident on June. And so now I'm just opening the form that I just customized. And if we go to page 2, it's right or not. What's going on? Oh my God. Let me go back. Let me see if I did something wrong. Okay. So just to make sure I'm mapping it to the right. Oh, I see why. Don't worry. The reason why I didn't populate is because she's not the alien. So this is actually a good accident that happened to me, so that if it happens to you, you don't freak out like I just did. So on the forms, we do have these red instructions that say alien info goes here or petitioner info goes here. Well, it turns out I didn't pick alien. So all I need to do is just click select party, replace alien, and she was the petitioner because I just opened a different case. Here we go. Now she's populating. Now we should see the date. All right, and it's actually purple-ish because that's how you can tell that it's mapped, that you customize it, but it works. So imagine again, when you create a questionnaire where you ask all these questions and the client just answers, and if you have mapped it, it took me less than 5 minutes, and now the form auto-populates. Okay, oof, I got scared. I was like, oh, I probably linked it to the wrong field. It has happened. Okay, next. Let's continue with our training. And if you have questions, let me know. I talked about billing items, so I'm going to skip that because I want to show you how to create your questionnaires, your custom intake forms. Let's cover that. To create your custom intake form, you want to click on Custom Form Templates. And you're going to click on Intake Forms, not questionnaires. So remember that, intake forms. Don't make the same mistake I did once. Don't create one from scratch. We had a client who requested a TPS questionnaire. I was assigned to do it, and I didn't know because I was out last year, or almost 2 years ago. I didn't know that you can copy it. You can copy the system questionnaire. So instead of starting from scratch, my recommendation is use what we have. So going back to the N400, we have those questions already. Might as well just make a copy and say, well, I'm going to use these yes, no questions. But in this situation, I want to add the name. I want to add the address. I want to ask to upload documents. So you can customize the questionnaire by adding questions, by removing questions. Maybe I don't want to ask, or I don't like this header or description, so I can just edit, delete. So you can customize it. And also, if you notice what I did on the left-hand side, all I did was click on the section. So I picked name, but I don't want this all the way at the bottom. I'm going to move it to position number 3, and I'm just going to call the question name and save it. That's it. So by doing that, it's now here under number 3. And I can also drag and drop, so move it anywhere I want. So maybe my field is going to go right here or right here. Like, you can just customize it. Now, let me go back to the other one that okay. I'm asking for the address. Let's move this to number 5. Well, you have to be very specific. Do I want the residence US address, US resident address, or, you know, you have to be specific because the system doesn't let you choose either or. So in this case, well, if it's a US, I don't need to ask for the country, and I just need to ask for state and zip code, and that's it. And then lastly, I'm asking for upload. Is it multiple documents, or am I asking for a single document? So if you want to do that, you can probably do something like, I need your passport here. And then just, ask them to upload the passport, you know. And that's it, save it. Next step is mapping. Mapping means connecting. Remember how I told you about the buckets? Like, okay, one thing is for you to ask, what's your name? Yeah, but where in the system are you going to save that field? And it's asking you name. Where in the system is this question? It's under general info. So all you need to do is connect it. That's what mapping means. I'm connecting my question to the system. So when they enter their name, it actually stores and saves, and it transfers to the forms. Okay, so it's very important that you map the forms or intake forms correctly. Next question was, what's your US resident address? Again, we already have it right here. So you just have to search and link it or connect it. And as you can see, as I'm just clicking, it doesn't give me the option to choose the other ones because I have already picked them from the list. So it has to match zip code with zip code. And that's it. You could also make these mandatory required. So the client cannot proceed without answering these questions. And I almost forgot to say this, but you can make it pretty by adding your logo, numbering the questions, adding like, description, lines, or spaces. And we have templates that, you don't have to pretty much create. We have them already. So in this example, the N400, I need to ask them for their previous addresses, but I just need their 5, we only need the last 5 years of history. And again, I can select, okay, move this to position number 10, and that's it. So again, you can make this as complete as you want. You just select what you need. And keep in mind that you can customize it where if you don't need, for example, the children information for my client, I don't need their maiden name. So let's just remove that question, or title, prefer name. That's irrelevant to me. So I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible. I don't need their children cell phone or day phone or fax. So again, just keep it as simple as possible. And when you're done with the fields, remember to complete your mappings. See the one that I did for the passport. Let me map it. The way you can tell is because it has the orange, I guess, around it. So I'm asking for passport. I'm gonna select client documents, passport. So when they do upload a passport, it goes to the right section. Lastly, well, you can add translations. So I'm going to enable one language, and I'm going to review, and it's translating. I can always change that if I need to. And at the bottom, you do have to approve or submit, and then just save. If you want to preview it, click preview, and here's a logo. Here are the questions, name, you know, it's really, really easy. So just imagine how much time are you and your clients wasting. Oh, by the way, just save and continue or save and close. How much time are you wasting by sending them a PDF that you created a long time ago? And then they have to type the data, and then you have to retype the same data. So might as well just create one custom questionnaire here with our technology and have them enter. You're going to type anyway, so might as well just type in these questionnaires. Or if your client is not tech savvy and you go and access their account and use the alternate view, you can actually open the questionnaire. For example, maybe this one, initial consultation intake form. I can ask them questions instead of sending this via email. I can just type the data myself. Okay, so it's up to you. We also have the ability for you to translate the questionnaires and print them. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to continue because we're running out of time, of course. So next item in my list is form defaults. If you go into your admin and click on form defaults, you can customize it. Let's go back to use that example N400. So I'm going to select the form and I'm going to say that moving forward, every time that I do an N400, I want the questions that say yes, no to be automatically responded, answered. So this is a new version, so I'm kind of like getting familiar with it. Have you ever? So I'm just going to say no, 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 no. So all my clients are going to say no to these anyways, but if they say yes, then I'll just change it to a yes. But it's easier for me to just have it by default. Okay, so just save it, and it won't affect the form that I had created in this situation because I did it afterwards. I would have to just add a new form. Let's quickly do that. I'm going to add the new form to my case. I'm going to open, and this time I will remember to use the select party button and replace. So now her data transfers to the form. And I think that was page 6. So if we look at page 6, look at the fields. They have been marked already by default. So like I said, it's a lot easier for me to switch a yes than having to click no, 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 no every single time. So those are your form defaults. And I won't save the changes. Next, document repository. In your admin, you have kind of like a cloud within the cloud. This is where you can store documents that if you need to access them, maybe you're not in your office, but you connect to eIMMIGRATION and you want to get a copy of the contract or a copy of, I don't know. So you can just say, let me add a single document from my document repository. So it could be a PDF, instructions, or again, a contract. That way you can have those documents available and ensure that your staff uses the same version of the document. So that's your document repository in your admin portal. Next, types of reminders, types of comments, type of calendar appointments. So make sure that you also customize these because when you create a reminder, you don't want to just say, I have a deadline. Well, I have a task. Well, be more specific. I have to ask the client for her or his documents. I need to draft a declaration. I have a meeting. So you can customize these categories or type of reminders because it's a lot easier. Let me show you why. When I go to my tickler report and I say, hey, how many reminders do I have in the next, I don't know, 5 days? Maybe I don't, but let's show for all my caseworkers. In the next 5 days, we have one item, and this is the description. Oh, actually, these are the process steps. Sorry, let me look at the reminders. In the next 5 to 20 days, these are the reminders. I have to prepare for the interview, or in the next 31, 60 days, I have a meeting and I have a court date. Who's responsible? See how easy it is for me to prioritize because I see the category and I see the due date. So I highly recommend that you customize your type of reminders, type of notes, etc. All right, let me see if you guys have any questions at this point. Okay, I'm gonna close this. I gave you enough time to ask, but most of you say no thanks. Let's see, someone did say how to customize questionnaire. I think you arrived late because I already talked about that. You can watch the video or you can always contact our team, but it's right here, custom form templates. You're probably busy. Okay, so next we're talking about smart alerts, especially if you have billing. If you go to types, go to global client alert or global case alert, and you can add one. For example, I said when there is a client who owes me, meaning, and you have to pick advanced. So if you select advanced warning, if invoices are overdue, give me an alert. I don't know if you noticed, but when I do that, and it's actually it's a red bell. When I refresh or access the system and I open this particular profile, it gives me an alert. She has overdue invoices. Or you could also say, give me an alert if there's any adverse party, or so you can add global alerts that your staff cannot delete, maybe an announcement or something important that you don't want them to miss. So make sure that you use these alerts. All of you have access to them. All right, so if you go to your application settings, under, let me scroll down, under case settings, we have a section called Case Wizard Required Fields. If you want to enforce your staff to select the process or select the case number, so you can make these required fields and they can't create a case without adding those, that information. So those are the mandatory fields for the Case Wizard. All right, so let's continue with the rest of our presentation. We're almost done. I want to show you, for those who are enrolled or subscribed to custom reports, how to create and how to schedule the report. Let me see, there's a question. How can I see the video? I am recording today's training and it will be available if you go to our YouTube channel. In fact, we have done those videos. There was a video 2 weeks ago, how to easily create your own intake form. So I recommend that you watch this one. Again, it was 2 weeks ago. Just go to YouTube, search Cerenade Academy, and you can have that training specifically about how to create or customize your questionnaires. Okay. We have a lot of useful videos that I recommend that you watch, but since that was your question, then I'm pointing to the right video. But specifically this training, just like we upload all these, will be here later. So you can subscribe to the channel. You can get the notification when it's ready. Okay, how do I create a custom report? Go into your admin and click report templates. Again, use what we have already. Don't start from scratch. You can just, for example, say, hey, I'm looking for cases. It looks like Cerenade has this report called cases. Let me just make a copy. So if I make a copy of the report and I say, well, yes, I want to show only daily cases by Vanessa, and they have to be just adjustment of status. And I will just save it. And then I go and search, for the custom report, which is right here, daily cases by Vanessa AOS. Now I get to edit the report criteria. So what is it that I'm looking for? Well, the status shouldn't be open if I need to schedule a report. It has to be defined, the criteria, I mean. So the criteria I'm using will be the status of the case has to be equal to active, and the program type is irrelevant, so I'm going to remove that, but the process has to be equal to adjustment of status. So I'm going to pick that process, and I don't care for the department or, well, yeah, for the creation date, I will change it instead of between. I'm going to say today or yesterday. That way I can see daily reports from the day before. And it could also be and case general info creation date this week or today or greater than, not empty. So you can pick, I'm just doing yesterday and today's date, today's report. Sorry, today's cases. Oh gosh, I need another coffee. I'm not searching for client's first name or last name or country of birth. I do want to change this case worker instead of in equal to and I'll just pick my name, and that's it. So I'll stay with the same columns, although let me say something. With custom reports, I always recommend that you add a column, include client, general info, name, and also include case, general info, case number, because that way you can click on the links and access the client a lot faster. So I don't need the first and last name on a separate, column. And yeah, so I can just pick whatever I need. I don't need their country of birth. I probably want their phone because I want to contact them, or I can just add any column that I need to see. Their email, um, their phone number. So you can pick. In this situation, I'm adding the client, individual client, general info, phone, or cell phone maybe. And one of your columns has to have this sorting option, either ascending or descending. If you don't, you're going to get an error message. So let's test it. It looks like, of course, I haven't done any. How about if I change this to last year? See if that works. Okay, or it looks like last year I did have 18 AOS cases, and it shows that this is why I told you to select the case number. I have it twice, so I can just remove that column. So it's just like a back and forth thing where you can just create your report the way you want it. And oh, that's the error message that I was telling you, because I removed that and I have to now sort by. So I'm going to sort by alphabetical order. Let's try again. Okay, so my 18 reports now by alphabetical order. I can see the clients. I can see the case number. Obviously, the type of case or the status will always be AOS active. So I can remove columns that are going to be irrelevant. And when I'm done, I just save it. Well, in this example, it wasn't daily cases, but last year cases. When you are ready to schedule the report, you go here, schedule reports, add, select a report that you want. I'm just going to pick a different one, like annual cases by Araceli. I want to send this as a PDF starting maybe December. So it will show all of the, maybe do this for, I don't know, I'm just going to pick the same date, but until 2026. So for 2 years, send me on a monthly basis or yearly basis these reports. I mean, if you think about it, you can send an Excel spreadsheet on a daily basis to show how many invoices are pending with a balance. Send that Excel to your accounting department. They're not even using the system, but they're getting this Excel on a daily basis to know what invoices have a pending balance. Or you could also schedule a report that shows how many appointments do you have, consultations, or etc. Any deadlines that you need to be aware of, and you get this daily report without having to log in into the system. So I highly recommend custom reports. Well, lastly, since we're running out of time, make sure that you explore the application settings. There are a lot of things here that you must, like I said, we recommend that you enable, or you can disable if you don't want. But again, this is just a matter of preference. And if you want to upload your logo, it's under branding. This is where you can upload your logo and make sure that it's 300 by 70 pixels. Okay. All right. So let me just cover the resources and support. Yes, you will have questions. It's normal. Call us. That's what we're here for. Monday through Friday, except on holidays, we're going to be closed. What is it? Next Monday, right? The holiday already, Memorial. You can email us though. You can send us an email. You can click on your home screen where it says technical support on the upper right hand corner. You can also send your feedback to our developers and access our users guide. We do these live trainings for free on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are in Los Angeles. We even have a podcast, and like I said, we have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, so you can join and contact us. And did you know that we have these features that you're probably not aware of, such as e-filing, where you can download or import data from the CBP website. So make sure that you download my PowerPoint presentation so you can click on these links and learn more. And speaking of learning more, you asked these questions. So how to create a custom monthly report based on clients filing intakes by email. Like I said earlier, you can just copy an existing report and modify it so that you can add the necessary criteria. And I have the link right here so you can watch the videos. I'd like to know how to customize questionnaires and attach a list of requested documents. So from the admin portal, you can click on custom form templates and click on intake forms. I like to recommend, like I said, I added the passport, but you can do either upload all the documents at once, so that might be easier for them. Next question was, I'm not able to upload my own customized forms because the system requires FAR files. How do I do that? I think the reason why you encounter that problem is because you went to custom form templates and you wanted to either upload like a form and it was asking for an FAR. You can't do that because the system, that's for our developers to do it. We do have a professional service, like you can customize an invoice or a form, and of course it's for an additional fee. But once that's ready, we provide the FAR file so that you can upload it. All right, so these are the upcoming trainings for May and June. We won't have a webinar on June 14th due to the AILA National Conference. And thank you everyone for joining us today. I will stick around for more time. If you need to disconnect before you go, please let me know if your questions were addressed today. Before you go, just click on the screen to vote and have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for attending today's webinar. I hope you learned something new. Excellent. Oh, thank you so much for your feedback. Like always, it really means a lot to me. You too. Have a great weekend. My pleasure. I hope that you learned something new. There's always something new to learn. I always learn new new stuff. All right. Thank you everyone for voting. For those that, oops, sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. For those who said not really, I'm staying here if you want to ask me your questions or contact our team, right? So that we can connect to your screen if needed. Thank you everyone. Have a great weekend.